Good morning. I'm Reverend Lori Sheets. It's so great to see each and every one of you here on this day, and that you're spending your Sunday here when there's 4,000 different street fairs going on all around Southern California, so thank you. Seaside Singles musical event, I'll tell you about that, but I'd first like to invite Carolyn Holder out, one of our practitioners and the light bearer today. Thank you. Sasha Rana has written an incredible music theater event, and it will be on May 3rd. Tickets and information are in the back of the room. Please go in the family room and see her. She is standing right there waving and smiling. As far as our education, I have a class that I have created. It's called Love Yourself No Matter What. So I'm never thinking that anybody here at Seaside doesn't love themselves, but if you have had an iota of not doing that, this is a class that I created that looks at tools and techniques so that we can be more in alignment with who we are and also to love ourselves even more than we do now. We have a new class coming up, Catherine Diaz. She's writing a class called Healing Your Life, Breaking Through the Clouds of Limitation and Letting Your Light Shine. And that starts on Monday evenings in May. Dr. Christian has a class that's called How to Be a Masterful Manifester. And that will be coming up on Tuesdays. It's 3 weeks. Can you imagine learning from someone who knows how to manifest very well in 3 weeks? He's going to share his insights and help sharpen your manifestation skills. We have our ongoing study group, which is called The Quest, with Reverend Dr. Leo Fishback. That will be on Wednesdays, so please plan to stop by anytime on Wednesday and sit in. It's not too late to be part of the Silver Circle. I've never been able to say that, but this is Silver, say it with me, come on you guys. Silver Circle, thank you. We are one, aren't we? There's information on that in the back as well, and then we're celebrating our 25th anniversary, so we want to make sure that you get geared into the different things that we're doing. The Youth and Family Ministry is planning a skateboard party. Just raise your hands. I don't need to tell about it. Skateboard? Skateboard. Bill Siemens is in. Who else? Oh, yeah, you'd be in. We have 2 pro skateboarders, our own beloved David Hackett and one of his friends, Cuervo, from the Dominican Republic. Can you imagine how he got that name? They're going to come and show our youth how to skateboard, and that is all. So if you know of friends, cousins, families, grandkids, there are flyers in the back and a number that you can call in the newsletter. If you have been coming here to Seaside and feel compelled to get a little bit more involved, we wholeheartedly invite you to become a member of the Seaside family. May 5th, there's a class called Basic Beliefs. Learn about this teaching. It's very specific. May 19th is a new member class. So there is information in your newsletter, but please talk to us. We would love to welcome you in and share how special it is, our experience with Seaside. Our choir is creating a Seaside choir cookbook. Can you stand it? Marv, do you have a little bit of a video kind of thing going with that? Or not? We invite you to submit your recipes. We need
recipe.
Get them in now. And the reason is that we have a certain amount of people who are involved in this project needed. Where do we stand, Barbara? Where do we stand? Almost halfway there.
Recipes now.
We're from the Seaside Choir, and we're publishing a cookbook, and we want to include your recipes. So send us your favorite recipes by email now.
We want your recipes. We want
The
your recipes. We want your.
So I think the key word, first of all, you notice they didn't say good recipes ever? Okay, so send your recipes, but the key is now. Another one of my favorite things that we do here at Seaside is called Gourmets for God, and I'd like to introduce our board member, Cindy Dietz, to tell you about it. Cindy?
Thanks, Lori. Talking about community, Gourmets for Gods is such a great way to get into the community and have lots of fun. Do we have any hosts here in the audience? If there's a host from last year, please stand. Yay, because I just want to love you up and appreciate you for how much fun you had for us last year. And guess what? It's time to do it again. So host sign up starts today. We're back at the table by the kitchen, so please come and sign up. We have a little video for you to watch. This tells you how much fun we really have.
Gourmets for God is back, and it's back because you wanted it. It is so much fun. There are so many ideas that are out there. We have done Phantom of the Pasta. We have done Taiwan Over, which was Thai food. We have done pizza and beer and watching a Padre game together. There are parties all over this town because people are...
We interrupt this program for this breaking news. Gourmets for God are on the loose.
Now, you're the director of this, Libby. What's going on here?
Hey, Steve, here's our new Gourmets for God team.
That is absolutely frightening.
Absolutely frightening, but the food and the fun is really great.
Hit it!
Well, this is how you bid, I guess.
You get a big number.
You get a big number.
This is new this year, isn't it?
This is new. This is going to simplify everything. We are going to have a little table, and you'll sign up, and you'll get a bid number.
Bid number.
And you will use that bid number
to bid.
Before you do the bid number, people sign up to be hosts at their house to come up with really creative, fun things. Like last year, people did amazing fun things, really fun things, and you really don't want to miss it, but it's really fun to be a host. Like, for instance, I'm going to be doing a pie eating contest as one because we didn't do that last year.
Is that sugar-free?
I don't know.
Oh, my God!
So come back and see us at the table. We'll totally explain what Gourmets for God is. Thanks, everyone.
I want to go where I can get a pie in my face. Yeah. Oh, there the beach balls go. Please stand now and greet your neighbor and remain standing.
All right, it's time for our congregational song together. This morning we're singing, I'm Choosing Heaven Today. Hey, Tom. Here we go. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing love today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing grace today. I'm choosing grace. I'm choosing grace today. I'm choosing grace. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing grace today. Choosing Bob. Choosing compassion today. I'm choosing compassion today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing compassion today. I'm choosing joy today. I'm choosing joy. I'm choosing joy today. I'm choosing joy. I'm walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing joy today. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing heaven today. That's right. Right now. Right now.
Woo, good choices. Hey, good morning, Seaside. Hey, what a joy it is to be here with you today. What a great choice you made to be here. Seaside, a spiritual nexus inspiring you to live your dreams, to live your divinity. It is truly a welcoming community. Wherever one may be on their spiritual path, know that you are welcome here. It is an affirming spiritual community that honors you on your path without judgment, just saying, we are so grateful you have chosen to share this day with us, and your presence is making a difference as to how this morning goes. So thank you for being here. And also, I'd like to say a very special announcement. Reverend Lori went to sit on her ordination panels on Thursday in Denver. She sat on them. And just so you know about ordination, to become eligible for ordination, you do your preliminary classes, which take maybe 2 or 3 years. And then you're eligible to go into the practitioner studies for 2 more years. And so after 5 years, you can then maybe enter into the School of Ministry, which is at least 3 to 4 more years. And after 8 years, if you graduate at that point, you are then eligible to be in the field for a couple more years, filling out reports. And at the end of those 2 years, you can sit on an ordination panel in Denver like Lori did on Thursday, and she passed them successfully. So, congratulations. Woo! So I'm sure we're up for a big party one of these days when she goes through that ordination process. She could have been an MD or a minister. You know, what a choice. So we're blessed. But I'll tell you what, Seaside is about spirit. You know, the choice that Seaside makes is for joy, it's kindness, it's love, it's celebration. And wanted to take us into that deeper experience is a wonderful practitioner of Seaside, that is Sharon De Leon, master of Cafe on Lake.
So I just invite you to close your eyes, take a nice deep breath in and out, and to join me into the stillness. I rejoice, for this is the day that God hath made. I rejoice, and I open. I open to this day. I open to the power of this moment, and I open to this service. I rejoice, knowing that I am one with Spirit, and knowing that each one here is one with Spirit. I rejoice, and I remember who I am. I rejoice, and I'm open to receive. I'm open to receive in this community, in this center, the gifts that have already been given. I'm open to receive more good, more truth, more love, more peace, more understanding, more truth. I rejoice, and I open to hear the truth. I open knowing that Reverend Dr. Christian is that vessel, that conduit, that place where heaven meets earth. I open to all the blessings of this service, knowing that each one here is a blessing, that each one here has said yes to this divine appointment of their soul. So I rejoice, for this is the day that God hath made. And so it is.
In this very room, there's quite enough love for all of us. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for all of us. Quite enough peace, quite enough power to set our lives in tune with spirit as spirit. Is in this very room, and in this very room, there's quite enough love for all the world. And in this very room, there's quite enough peace for all the world. Quite enough joy, quite enough power to set our lives in tune in spirit as spirit. Is in this very room, is in this very room.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, our artistic director, Reverend Fran, and our practitioner, Sharon DeLeon. Thank you so much for bringing us to this place of being grounded and being centered. And I'm a little weepy. As Dr. Christian explained, this ordination thing was so many hurdles and hurdles and hurdles. And all through being in Denver, I felt my family here. I felt grounded. I felt you. I knew you were praying for me. And it was such a comfort. And I certainly thank you for that. And those who are here for the very first time, everyone who comes through these doors does not become a minister. But we do, I say that just to let you know that we truly are a family. And if you're interested in getting some information, we have packets in the back at the Welcome Center, information on our teaching, as well as information on Seaside, what goes on here. So that it would be our delight to have you pick that up. We are reading from the Joyous Living Journal, and so I'd like you to just get comfortable, whatever pretty much that looks like. No feet on the chairs in front of you, but just get comfortable and take these words in, and I'll then go into prayer. So it's called Frequencies of Consciousness. Television sets used to have antennas. Some actually had them on the television box itself and were affectionately called rabbit ears. To make things even stranger, if the reception was poor, you'd get up and adjust the ears, and sometimes the picture came through best when you were still holding the antenna. Depending on how you stood, you could actually impact the signal received. If your body would be a channel through which an unseen picture would be seen, imagine what else you could pick up if you knew how to tune in to the station of your choice. There are so many unseen possible images available in the different frequencies of consciousness. When you dial into fear, where do those images come from that fill your mind? And when you dial into joy, where do all those images that fill your awareness come from? You are a divine conduit who is able to catch the higher vision for your life anytime and anywhere. Turn off what's playing and adjust your receiver to the frequency of your choosing. And so simply allow your eyes to close and go within to that place where the divine presence of God resides, knowing that it is this God that is all good, and knowing that this God is all love. I know that love is truly the truth between our souls. So it is in this present moment that I claim my power to choose the mindset that I desire to look at the world with, to choose the lens in my glasses to see clearly or not so clearly. For as I affirm my oneness with the divine, I know that I have this ability, and I know what is to be revealed is revealed. What a gift. What a gift. To be aware of my consciousness, to be able to change the channel so that I may fulfill my dreams, so that I may feel supported at the deepest level by my God, my beloved. I'm so grateful to know this and so much more. I take these words and I release them. I allow them to let go, knowing that they are done in the mind of God. And so it is.
Hello. Thank you, Reverend Lori. I'm over here this morning introducing our guest artist. Hi, I'm Reverend Fran, and I want to tell you it's a delight to have Rebecca Jade on the stage. We called her in at the last moment, and Paul, that was supposed to be here this morning, had an emergency, so we bless him on his way. And Rebecca steps in so easily and gracefully. It's like she's always here. We love her so much. She's going to sing a real great song this morning, and I wish you would please put your hands together for Miss Rebecca Jade. Thank you so much. I chose this song because I love the message in it. It's very uplifting. It's a pop song, but it has a message that's just about no matter what's going on, I'm going to be fine. It's just all about your mentality and how you just put that forth. And so it's got a very catchy chorus to it, so feel free to sing along. You'll pick it up, I promise. Come on. Let it go. Can't let this thing called love get away from you. Feel free right now, gon' do what you wanna do. Can't let nobody take it away from you, from me, from we. No time for moping around, are you kidding? And no time for negative vibes, cause I'm winning. It's been a long week, I put in my hardest. Gonna live my life, feels so good to get it right. Cause I like what I see when I'm looking at me, when I'm walking past a mirror. Don't stress to the night at a time in my life, ain't worried about if you feel it. Got my head on straight, I got my vibe right, I ain't gonna let you kill it. I won't change my life's just fine, 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 fine. Woo! Fine, 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 fine. Woo! Fine, 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 fine. I won't change my life's feels so good when you're doing all the things that you wanna do. Get the best out of life, treat yourself to something new. Keep your head up high in yourself, believe in you, believe in me. Having a really good time, I'm not complaining, and I'ma still wear a smile if it's raining. I gotta enjoy myself regardless. I appreciate life, I'm so glad that it's mine. So I like what I see when I'm looking at me, when I'm walking past a mirror. No stress to the night at a time in my life, ain't worried about if you feel it. Got my head on straight, I got my vibe right, I ain't gonna let you kill it. I won't change my life's just fine, 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 fine. Woo! Fine, 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 fine. Fine, 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 fine. I won't change my life's just fine. I ain't gonna let nothing get in my way. No matter what nobody has to say. Oh, I ain't gonna let nothing get in my way. No, no, no matter what nobody has to say. Ooh, feels so good when you're doing all the things that you wanna do. Get the best out of life, treat yourself to something new. It's a really good thing to see that I won't change my life. My life's just fine, 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 fine. Woo! Fine, 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 fine. Fine, 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 fine. I won't change my life. My life's just fine. Thank you. Yeah.
Hey, that is Rebecca Jade. Woo! Hey, I like that. All right, thanks, Carl. Oh, so now that is a fine frequency we're tuned into right now. How does that feel? Does that feel good? Fine, fine, fine. Woo! Oh, man, I can just feel that moving. Anyway, let's see. I love the reading this week. Man, that author is just brilliant. I got to tell you. Yeah. But what a great analogy. Remember those TVs with those rabbit ears? And, you know, you just knock it, and all of a sudden you got a different image coming in. Well, that's what happens to our life sometimes. We get knocked, and all of a sudden, boom, we got this new image. Not the one that I had wanted, not the one I was going after, but all of a sudden, you know, I just got jarred, and I got the news coming in, and it's okay to be aware of things, but you got to remember to go back. But what happens is it gets so engaging, this horror, this drama in my life or in the world's life, and I'm watching, and in the meantime, you got this infinite amount of frequencies and channels in which you can dial in. You remember those old TVs? They actually had dials. You actually had to get up out of your seat and got a little exercise. I turn the dial. You got to turn the frequency. And so, how did I get dialed into the horror or the challenge that is there? Something jarred me. Something shook me. How did we get thrown out of the Garden of Eden? How did I get outside of Eden? Well, it's pretty simple if you kind of look at this analogy. It says all of a sudden, we became aware of good and evil. We became aware of God and something else. That's how you got out of Eden, is you became aware that there could actually maybe be something other than God. And all of a sudden, you begin to believe there is no longer God is everything. There is God and evil, or there is God and pain, or there is God and struggle. Or all of a sudden, you've got this dualistic concept because here's the evidence. I'm dialed into this frequency of the lower dimensions, the heavier vibrations of this world, and I'm believing that this is the truth, that my body's not working because the doctor says so, or there is no employment because I don't have a job, or the relationship is... who knows what it is, but it is all consuming, and I believe that is the truth because that is what is being played on the screen that is in my subjective, and most of it's being fed to you from the outside world that is outside of Eden. Got to return. Got to dial back in. There's infinite amount of channels. I don't know. There's literally thousands of channels on the TV today. Have you noticed that? I don't even know how high my dial goes, and people still say, and there's nothing to watch. It's because you dialed in with the insignificant challenges of this physical dimension. What I want us to be aware is that there is so much more, and you've got to continue to believe that God is the projector. God is the one that sends out all the channels. So even in the midst of the pain, you've got to know that God is present because it's all coming from God. But you can tune up to the higher frequencies or the lower ones. God is the projector of all, and you've got to believe it, and you know that because you take the time to connect. You take the time to feel that presence. A lot of people will say, well, I know God's everything because I read it in the book. God's infinite, or Christians said it. Or, it's called blind faith. You don't really know it because when you get jarred, when the vision gets pointed in a direction that is less than whole, all of a sudden one returns to trying to get God to overcome the situation. I want God to heal this. Remember, there's nothing to heal. It's all spirit. But yet, if I'm trying to get God to heal this situation, then I'm saying there is something and God. You follow that? Because that's important. It's really what differentiates us a lot from traditional religions is because they're praying to something outside to come save them from a situation. And we're saying, you know what? God is infinite, which means right in the midst of that horrific picture, I just got to change the frequency, the vibration, the channel to see where God is here. Somehow, Spirit is moving in this direction. And what I must remember to do is consciously remember my immortal aspect of being. As I remember my immortal aspect of being and my eternal relationship with the divine, I begin to recognize that as I walk in this world, there is nothing that can separate that. Even if I get jarred, even if the verdicts come back less than what I was hoping to get in my life, I have got to remember that doesn't matter what side of the grave I'm on, where I am, God is. Or where God is, I am. That whole I am thing, we can go on and on about that. It is that I am kind of stuff, and it's just knowing. It is knowing that right here it is about the present moment. Not about what was, what happened, what had been. Because, oh my goodness, we get all stirred up in that, and then we project it into the future. The future is our imagination. The past is gone, and yet, we're trying to pray. I pray in the present moment because there's a fear from the past that is projecting itself into the future, so I'm trying to pray in the present moment to change my future. That's just too many time zones for your soul to deal with. I'm telling you. Just be assured, everything in the present moment is somehow connected into the future moments, whatever is going on. So when I can come from that higher place, and granted, things of this world will grab our attention. That's what they do. But I've got to begin to trust. I got to begin to raise the frequency of consciousness to trusting, not with that blind faith, but with a deep faith, because I've gone to that place where I continue to know the presence of God and realize that the world is not holding me back, but if anything, I'm holding the world back. You know, you were given a strength, and if you are not releasing your strength into this world, you are holding the world back from its potential. You've been given a strength in which you can move mountains, and by all means, you can move people or businesses or things that are in your world that are relevant. But if you're so caught up trying to get the approval or the okay or the acknowledgement or the kudos or what have you, hey, check this out, what I can do, is it yes, it's okay. You came here to do it. Do it for goodness sakes. You know? You are holding the world back if you're not doing that. If you want to let the floodgates go of the wild ride, the wild success is dependent upon not what the world gives you, but what you give to the world. You are that place in which that spirit is seeking to express itself. You're not looking on the TV screen. You are the projection that is coming forth from within. You are the projection. You are God projecting in this life, and you have got to believe that you have the strength and the ability and the capacity and the capability to do that, and that it's not about waiting for things to line up or the world to beat a path to you or to make a path to you or to put a cabana on the beach with your name on it or roll out the red carpet for you. You are that magic carpet. You are what this world has been waiting for. You are that burning, but you are the expression of God, and you're the one who's holding this world back because you're not giving and sharing all of yourself in this life. And why not? Well, I got to tell you, I just read this magazine article, is that we are just so engaged with, I won't say irrelevant, but less than real crucial stuff in our life. That the magazine article said, you know, the young to young adults, middle-aged adults spend about 20 hours a week on social media. On, you know, the screen time, whether it's Facebook or reading their news or communicating with people about what's going on or what's going on in their life, things that are really of not necessarily major significance. I go, wow, that's a lot. But then I read a little bit further that if they aren't doing that, the rest of us are spending about 30 hours a week on TV. So I think that's a lot, but you know, that's turning on your TV 6 or 7 at night and letting it go until you go to sleep. That's 30 hours a week. And then people are complaining, you know what, personally, I'm just too busy to get involved, to do my meditation on a regular basis. I want us to get that if we could spend 20 to 30 minutes every day going into that silent place and connecting with that source, with that spirit, with that vitality, we are then able to realize I am still living in this Garden of Eden. I am still spirit expressing. I do have the strength that will move mountains as well as business. I am that place where God is made manifest, but I am the one who's got to begin to work with that and come to know that which I am is spirit expressing in this world in which I am working. And if things are moving in the direction I don't want to go, then I don't have to go there. Let it go without you in your life. If it's going there, let it go. You're right. You know, oh gosh, it's going in a bad direction. Well, let it go. It can be that simple. It's okay to have it be simple, yeah. But the head starts coming up with all of these images, and we just dial down the frequency of consciousness into the lower dimensions where it is not grace-filled. It is not God-expressed. Let us begin to trust that even more and know that I am the one who's got to come back to a place of peace. Because I'll tell you what, in my classes, I often will ask a question that says, you know, if your immediate needs are the world in which you live in, the business stuff was just taking care of your life, you came home, you did the meditation, you got to that place, and you got rid of, you know, the day's concerns, where would your head go? And what I've noticed in the majority of individuals, it really goes into like a cove of negativity. It's stress around finances. It's stress around the future. It's stress around relationship, or it's stress around the body, or it's stress around the family dynamics. And it's almost as if there is this natural collective state that has been bombarded to the TV screen of our subjective consciousness that as a whole, if you're not trying to take charge by going into the silence and remembering that you're in Eden, you are going to go to the negativity because that is what tends to percolate. There are not that many people that are sitting in the reservoir of tranquility and peace and that I'm enough. But the world is filling us that there is not enough and that you're not good enough. I mean, when was the last time you saw a TV commercial that said, "Oh, you have more than enough. What else do you need?" I want you to know that you have more than enough, that you have everything that you need. And what you must do is dial in to the frequency, because what is caught up in this psychic rage is the fear, is the negativity, and society will bombard that screen and our perspective. So we are taking in 20 hours and 30 hours of things to be afraid of and concerned. It is no wonder that when you sit there quietly for a few moments, it's going all over the place. But you can't serve two masters. There's like a saying from the Bible that says you're going to serve God or mammon. Remember that one? It asked you, well, Christian, I multitask. I can serve them both. I'm a multitasker. I just saw a scientific study that says it is impossible for people to fully focus 100% on two different things at one time. But Christian, I can drive and be fully present and talk on the phone and be fully present. You cannot. They did study and research at Wyoming and tell you can't do both fully. Well, Christian, I can do computer and watch the TV show. No, you cannot do both fully 100%. Oh, yes, I can, and listen to music. Well, you know. And so what happens is there is this diversion about being fully present, 100% present in the moment. You cannot multitask that. You're either present or you're not. You're either into your fear or you're not. And so you cannot serve two contrary positions at the same time. You cannot be honest and dishonest at the same time. It doesn't work. You cannot be married and single at the same time. Some try, but it doesn't work. You cannot be forgiving and whole. People go, yeah, you can't be. I wasn't talking to you. I won't look over there. Yeah. You can't be, forgiving and bitter at the same time. You cannot say, I'm this spiritual person doing these spiritual practices and live in a contrary way. You have got to decide who it is that is going to have your attention. At the end of the day, are you seduced by the earth's or God's? And what I shared with my mysticism class on Tuesday night is this is a question that's not asked of you only once. It is something you need to look at every day. Am I being seduced by the earth's call or by God's? Because as you begin to listen, begin to open your eyes, you begin to see. There was this young kid who was home, and his dad was there, and he was talking to his dad. Say, Daddy, I was thinking, how much money do you make? Dad said, son, that is not an appropriate question. He said, but Dad, I'm curious. I just want to know, how much money do you make? He said, well, if you need to know, I make $100 an hour. The kid's head went down. And then it looked up and said, Dad, can I borrow $50? And Dad just went berserk. So you asked me how much I made so you can borrow amount of money from me. You were just using me to get some money so you can buy some childish toy. I don't work these long hours and hard work so you can go buy useless kind of things. If you were asking me how much I made so you could have some money, you march up to your bedroom right now, young man, and go to bed and you think about it. And so the young boy, he goes upstairs and Dad's sitting there and he just feels that anger, building inside of him. And about an hour later kind of subsides and starts saying, well, maybe, he really did want something beyond, childhood. He really doesn't ask me for money that much. And so Dad's now starting to feel bad about his reaction. And so he goes upstairs and knocks on his son's door and walks in and says, son, I was thinking, I'm sorry I responded that kind of way. You don't ask me for money very often, and so I had a rough day. I just aggravation, and here's $50. Well, the kid sits up in bed. He smiles for me. He's just so. I said, thank you, Daddy. Thank you, Daddy. He grabs some more dollars that are out from underneath his pillow and undoes the crinkled ones, and he starts counting them out. And his dad now gets upset. Son, you had all that money, and you are asking, what did you need that for? And as he counts it out, he said, well, it's because I didn't have enough, and now I do. Dad, here's $100. Can I have an hour of your time? Would you come home tomorrow an hour early and have dinner with us? I miss you. Yeah, you don't think Dad was shocked. He just put his arm around us. I am just so sorry, son. But sometimes we get so caught up with what's on that screen, we get caught up with our work that we forget what is most important to us. I just want to give you a reality check. If you were to die tomorrow, which you're not, but I'll tell you, your work they'd replace us pretty quick. It'd be a couple days before they could find a replacement for us at work. But I'll tell you what, your family would miss you forever. It would be a loss that would be with them the rest of their life. And so sometimes it's good to check in, do a little reality check, and see, are you spending more time at work? Are you filling your head with more of your work stuff than you are with your family and the time that you spend with your kids and the conversations you have with them? Can't answer that for you. But if we're talking about dialing into a frequency, where are you actually playing? Not what you say is important, but what do your actions say? You are the activity that Spirit is having in your life. Yeah, is it having a good time? Is it doing that which it was intended to do? Are you devoted to that? Because I hear people say, oh yeah, I'm committed to that. But committed to that means, I'm probably going to be doing that. But devoted, that incorporates the whole heart energy, the devotion and reverence. That I am devoted to my spiritual practices. I am devoted. It opens up that heart. It opens up that heart space, so that is something that I am going to be doing in my life no matter what. It is that which will move me to a new place of being. And it may take a little bit to get it open, and your world be screaming in pain and say, hey, remember what's important, but you got to be willing to open up. There was this doctor who went on a house call and got to the door, and the husband was there and said, Doc, my wife is in pain. She's really sick. And he takes her upstairs and him upstairs, and he goes in the room. And he comes back downstairs to her husband and says, hey, do you have a screwdriver? Well, okay. And he gives him a screwdriver. And he just hears this moaning and groaning and pain coming from the room. And the doctor comes back down and says, hey, do you have an ice pick and a hammer? And the husband goes, oh my goodness, doctor, is she gonna be okay? Is she okay? He says, I don't know. I can't open up my medical bag, Sometimes we are just jumping to conclusions as opposed to taking the time to just rest in that presence of God and to get clear, before we get started and before we get jumped in, before I give my power away to what has jarred me in my life. So all of a sudden, this is what I'm now looking at. You don't have to keep looking at it at any moment. You can get up off your meditation cushion and change the channel in your life. And get into action in that which matters to you. Is it work? Is it family? Is it your spiritual practices? You are the one who gets to make the choice. There's infinite amount of channels for you to dial into. But I'll tell you what, Spirit will call you. It will continue to call you. Thomas Merton, wonderful monk, wrote that, said, true prayer and love is learned when prayer appears impossible and the heart turns to stone. All of a sudden there's a verdict in your life that just rocks you and jolts you. It's like, where do I go? I go to God. I got to go to that finer frequency because the doctors say they can't help. My banker's not helping me, for God's sake. My relationship is, I need some divine intervention here. Where is it that you're turning? Where is it that you are going in your life? Because if you can't let go of something, then just let it be. Let it be. Let it rest. And you do that by doing your practices, your spiritual practices. This is the meditation. It's in the meditation that you come to know the true silence. It is in that true silence that you come to know truth. It is in that true silence that you come to know true life. It is in that silence that you come to know true devotion. It is in that place that the outside realm is no longer taking your power away. You're no longer looking for the approval. You are now listening to the divine options of your being as opposed to the rage that is going in the subjective collective consciousness that is in that psyche that is trying to get you to caught up in the hysteria and give your power away, give your freedom away, give your rights away. There is something in you that just is able to remember the truth. And when you are in that silent place, you begin to feel the grace of God. And as I talk about the grace of God, I've come to recognize more and more, I can't just give you a clear one-line definition of this is what grace is. That'd be nice. Hey, grace is this. But grace is a felt experience. Grace is not just something of idyllic poets and mad mystics who are espousing something. It is a real experience that you have got to come to know. It's not the blind faith I was alluding to. It is the real experience that is beyond reason, that is beyond logic, that is something we've all experienced when all of a sudden an idea comes out of the blue. Wow, where'd that come from? But it's changed my way of being. It has changed my life. It's that chance encounter with someone I had no idea that I was going to meet, and all of a sudden, or it's remembering somebody's birthday on the day of their birthday, out of the blue. You know, where does this grace come from? Or you're ever been in a heated argument, and all of a sudden you're about to say something, and inside of you, you hear this whisper, Christian, it's best that you don't go there. Don't say that. And you don't. And things are better because you didn't. That's grace, you know. And as you spend time in that place of the quiet, you begin to build this field around you. So when that time of challenge happens and prayer seems impossible, you don't have to go digging for grace. There is this wellspring. You're living within the field of grace. You are already there. You have experienced it. You know what it's like. You can call upon that moment and be receptive. You've been there in your quiet times, in your spiritual practices. You've been moved by it. You've been enraptured by it. You know, the rapture I've shared with you before, what it's like to just be caught up and your body begins to tingle and you have these light feelings and these vibrations, these ecstatic moments of high, this tingling, there's a heat, your kundalini lights up and you're on fire or you're freezing, you're in these depths of the cold, and all of a sudden you're in this place, it's like Alice in Wonderland, you're rising in your eye level with the stars, or you're shrinking, you can see the nucleus of the atom, or you know, the colors, the greens, the blues and purples, I can see your aura, whoa, and then all of a sudden it gets light and it's golden and it's white, it's like a headlight of a train coming at you, and then it gets brighter like the sun is burning and you dissolve into the nothingness, and all of a sudden you're one with it all. It is terrifying and it's exciting. I don't want to ever do this again. Oh my, I'm never going to meditate. It scares the bejesus out of me. Oh, it's so good. I'm addicted. I got to get there again. You know, it's different. It is wonderful. It lets you know. You begin to see with your soul past lives, ancient temples, cultures that were, history that was and wasn't. All of a sudden you are moved to this divine state and you realize, and this isn't even what it's about. You know, it's, you know, healing may happen and there's benefits, but all of a sudden you recognize you're even more than that, because you are remembering your immortality on a consistent kind of basis in your eternal relationship with the divine. It is a frequency of your being, a field of grace that you're living in. And as you begin to say yes to it, you find that the strength isn't being withheld from you from this world. That strength that can move those mountains is what you're hearing as you begin to dial into those frequencies of infinite possibilities, stations that you haven't even begun to reach that are ever present for you. You will begin to say yes for that wildness that you have to give to this world and the gifts that come from that givingness. And as you're saying yes to that, know that I am standing on the bleachers cheering you on and saying, yes, it is right for you to live that which turns you on and to follow your desire. And I am cheering you on as you're out there in life because I love you. God bless you. And that's wonderful. Hey, let's keep it going as we bring Rebecca Jade back to the stage.
Fantastic message. That was awesome.
All right.
I'm glad I was here to catch that. All right, well, I'm going to do a song for you by the wonderful artist Stevie Wonder. And he has a plethora of songs. If you have about 4 years to spend time and just look at his song, no, I'm just kidding. But he has so many songs, and here's one of his songs, and it's called Love's in Need of Love Today. Got a great message. Ooh. Good morning, evening, friends. Here's your friendly announcer. I have serious news to pass on to everybody. What I'm about to say could mean the world's disaster, could change your joy and laughter to tears and pain. It's that love's in need of love today. Don't delay, send yours in right away. Hate's going round, breaking many hearts, yeah. Stop it, please, before it's gone too far. The force of evil plans to make you its possession, and it will if we let it destroy everybody. We all must take precautionary measures. If love and please you treasure, then hear me when I say that love's in need of love today. Don't delay, send yours in right away. Oh, hate's going round, breaking many hearts. Stop it, please, before it's gone too far. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Come on, Bob. Bob. Oh, love's in need of love today. Don't delay, send yours in right away. Oh, hate's going round, breaking many hearts. Stop. Thank you.
Hey, that's Rebecca Jade. Fabulous. Wonderful. Thank you, Rebecca. Hey, this is the time of our service where we have the opportunity to unite together in our givingness and the sharing and know that as we give, it comes back. It's not why we give. It's just that is how the law of circulation works. And this is the moment in which you get to express yourself as the activity of God in your life. And so the level in which you choose to play is how life supports you. And so I invite you to look within your heart and feel how you have been touched by God. And know that your gift goes to make a significant difference in the ongoing continuation of creating this place to share Spirit. And so look within your heart and say yes to that. I want to call the ushers forward and say thank you to this wonderful team. And thank you to those who mail in your contributions when you cannot be here on a Sunday, as well as those who remember us with the auto tithe, that regular systematic support from your world into the activities of Seaside. I thank you. And to our home audience who's watching live streaming, thank you for your support. It's greatly appreciated. And I just share this prayer of gratitude with the most generous of spiritual communities, knowing truly that this is a blessed moment where the fullness of the divine has its way. For I truly rest in that reservoir of tranquility and abundance, knowing that infinite expression of God is forever seeking ways to come into form. And so in this moment, each of us chooses to be an avenue through which it pours forth its blessings. And grateful to be used by God here and now, I send forth that which has graced and blessed my life, knowing that it will continue to move forward with blessing and gracing all those with whom it comes in contact. Just thank you, Father, Mother, God, for this opportunity to be in this flow of abundance. And so it is. Amen. And together let us say our affirmation of abundance, which is, Spirit continues to bless my world. Gratefully, I live as the giving expression of Spirit, opening the floodgates of the affluent flow of greater good as my life now. Good job, guys. And it's in this appreciation and joy that this wonderful bounty is received, for I know it has been given in love and support, that each truly is an expression of God's blessings, and this wonderful gift has been received in love and taken care of in good stewardship and set forth back into the world in ways that are a blessing for all those with whom it comes in contact. Thank you for this moment of abundant realization, and so it is. Amen. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Helen Lipka, our board vice president. So, blessing. and also the one who's heading up our Silver Circle program. Make sure you see her after service if you have not signed up for the Silver Circle celebration of our 25-year anniversary, because there's a lot of good going on. Let's see what else. Rebecca Jade, thank you for stepping in Friday afternoon to say yes to lead us those songs. Fabulous. Reverend Fran, always a joy to lead us in music. Good. Hey, giving us sound in the back is Ed. Giving us the visual is Marv. And know that there are CDs available right after the service. And showing this live to the world is Tim Griffin behind that camera every week, showing it for the world. Tell your friends that aren't in town to watch what is going on here. There are more and more people watching every week. So a special welcome to all our home viewers. And know that you can watch really any time during the week if you can't catch us live. Lots going on around here. What's happening in town on Thursday morning, 7:30, is the annual Mayor's Prayer Breakfast. It's a national day of prayer. Obama puts out, or whoever the president is, puts out a national prayer, and the mayor in Encinitas comes together. And this year, we're also asking people to bring the canned goods for our community resource center that Seaside supports, because they have, the resources got cut back this year because of all the natural disasters. The usual funding is not there. So we're just asking Seaside will take the food that's part of what the mayor's prayer breakfast is we're giving there. So that's a big thing that's going on. Also, next Sunday is Basics for Science Mind. So if you've been thinking about joining Seaside at the end of May, that possibility will be here. But it's a wonderful class next Sunday at this time after our second service, where you can have some of the basic questions answered. And really what's happening at Seaside right now is food, and more food. You heard we're doing this cookbook. The cookbook is rolling, and what we have got to have is 150 individuals who've made contributions. Not 150 recipes, but 150 different individuals making contributions. So please, we've got 50 out of 150 that are needed. We're a third of the way there. I trust by next week we'll be 2/3 of the way there. But please take out a form, fill it out, go online and give it to us, because what we have been told by the cookbook people, we need 150 participants or they're not doing it. So we're getting closer, so do that. It doesn't cost you anything, and it's a big benefit to us. And speaking of food, what is really going on here is Gourmets for God. It is a fabulous expression. You saw my video that says, hey, you know, it's backed by popular demand. But it is such a great time. There are individuals offering organic meals. There are others that is doing rockin' ribs. That we have just fun parties that are happening where people establish relationships that last for years and years and years. So this is the time to talk to Cindy Dietz in the back and come up with a clever angle. Open your home up for wonderful friends to come be part of it. And then, you know, next month we'll do the bidding. But right now what we're working on doing is getting people to say, hey, I'm willing to have a meal and have some friends I don't even know yet over to my house, and all of a sudden leave with closer dynamic relationships. So that's what's going on around Seaside, at least. I could keep going about classes, but I'm not. Hey, guys, how's it going? What do you think of Lori? I said, okay. Yeah, all right. Thumbs up. That's a good thing. I want you to know we gave you our reverend, so use her up. No, I better get back to praying. Praying is the thrust of our movement since its conception. I want to invite any of our religious science practitioners to come stand up here, because on the last Sunday of the month, we do what we call our prayer wall, where I'll pray and we'll sing I Release and Let Go in the Grace song, but then it becomes the opportunity for you to come forward and receive a personal prayer. So with that said, I'm going to start the prayer just feeling this movement of the divine activity of God, knowing that the blessings of the Spirit is upon this moment. There's something wonderful that's stirring. Can you feel that? Sense that. It's not about blind faith. I'm inviting you to feel that life force, that first breath, first cause, that all initiating something that moved you into expression and being. For that divine creative impulse is not out to destroy itself. So what I come to know in this moment is God is all that there is on all the channels. And so there's no place that God is not, and I know right now in this moment as I stand on holy ground, I feel that divine emanation of Spirit moving, and know that I'm proclaiming the spiritual truth, for I am God expressing, and it's in this moment that I speak this wonderful revelation, this divine vibration of being the truth, that each and every member of this spiritual community is touched by the grace of God, lives within this field of grace that Seaside continues to know and to feel and to sense. And that every member of this community moves to an ever greater conscious connection with that infinite source, continuously remembering the immortality of expression of that being and the divine relationship, that eternal divine relationship. And it's in this knowingness that I realize I am now in Eden. I am now in that place of wholeness and well-being. And so if there is anything that's going on in life that is less than that, that is an experience of the physical realm of this human condition, the challenge, the stress, the concern, the body, the aches, the pains, you name it, which are natural expressions of walking through this world, come to know they are of this world, and that I am not seduced by this world, but rather I am open to God and realize that I am in this place of the divine knowingness of the truth of who I am is God expressing, and anything unlike that dissolves into the nothingness from which it came, and I need not make it happen. I just return to knowing that which I am, which is God, which is what you are, is I am God. Say this to yourself within your heart, within your soul. I am Spirit expressing in this moment and in this divine frequency of consciousness. The physical world responds. The ease, the security, the grace flows. For this, I'm grateful. Every prayer request in our prayer request is so. Every word spoken by these spiritual practitioners of the Word of God. And I'm just grateful to know that divine emanation that moves from this spiritual vortex as known as Seaside goes out into this community on this National Day of Prayer. Seaside adds to the emerging consciousness of peace and trust, love, and respect, belief, based on a true faith. And for this, I'm grateful. I'm thankful. The words I've shared, they're the truth. It's happening now. I let go because it's so. So it is.
Ooh, there was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. I did not know the grace of God was sufficient. I did not know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, trying to make it through just one more day, to let it go, let it all go. And this is what we have to say. Come on. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. You know there's no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit, and I'm only here for God. You know that I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. Well, there's no more struggle, there's no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Now, Seaside, take one. No, there's no more struggle, no more strife. I faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
And our affirmation is, I dial into my higher vision anytime. I dial into my higher vision anytime. Again, I dial into my higher vision anytime. One more time. I dial into my higher vision anytime. And our song of grace.
I'm living in love, I'm living in peace, I'm living my life for what I believe. Through joys and through fear, in this world I walk, God's grace shines on me, and it shines on us all. We are living in grace, we are living in grace. We are living in grace. We're living in love. We're living in peace. United we stand as one family. We honor all truth as together we walk. God's grace moves through me and it moves through us all. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We are living in grace.
Come on up, have some prayer. It feels good.